So what I've done here, I've basically sanded it all down with 240 and red Scotch-Brite. Using that red Scotch-Brite down in all those little tight corners underneath that reinforcement, and try and make sure that every part of this surface is all scuffed up so I can put it in primer, and I'll have confidence knowing that it's all sanded correctly and our primer will last a lifetime. Now that the boot lid's all ready for primer, let's make a start on the left-hand rear quarter panel. So after having a real closer look at these welds on the quarter panel, I realised that they were rather high, so I took a 4-inch grinder, I've ground those back. After grinding them all back, I realised that the existing welds on the quarter panel had a lot of defects. Now, the defects I'm talking about is something called porosity. Now, what porosity is I won't go into too much about it, but basically it leaves holes in the welds. So I can't really put body filler on over the top of those holes. So I've grabbed my MIG welder and I've MIG'd all those holes up. Alrighty, so after having a real good look at this quarter panel and fixing up a few of those things that was actually wrong with it, I noticed that the heat shrinking was actually done after the quarter was actually epoxy primed. So chances are all the rust treatment that was done on this quarter panel has probably been burnt off from the heat shrinking. So what I've done, I've ground back all those marks with the roll lock with 80 grit, and then I've basically feathered out the majority of those scratches with 240 on the orbital sander. I've then got red Scotch-Brite and gone over the whole quarter panel to scuff up that whole surface, because I plan on rust treating all these new bare metal marks that I've caused and from the heat shrinking. I'm then going to use the CAMS dioxidine, which is really good for rust treatment and steel conditioning. So how you apply that is you basically, what I like to do is put it in a cup, use some red Scotch-Brite, and scuff up that surface with that dioxidine, wipe it off with a wet rag, dry it with a dry rag, and then get an air blower and completely dry it. Let's get into it. Okay, let's talk epoxy primers. So I've got this epoxy primer by DNA Custom Paint. I've got it in black. Now, I find that black epoxy primers work really, really well in regards to sanding. So if you compare the olive color PPG epoxy primer that's on the XB at the moment, you really got to guide coat it in order to find where all those highs and lows are. With this DNA epoxy primer, you don't need to guide coat it. Being black, when sanded, it actually really highlights those highs and lows really, really well. So I used it on the LX 4-door. I'm going to use it on the XB. I can't speak any more highly enough about this product. It's bloody beautiful. Let's open up the tin. We've got heaps left from the LX Trana, so make sure you give it a bloody good stir, because all the pigments and that goes to the bottom, And if you don't stir it properly, it's not gonna produce the results that you really want. So here I've got the DNA stick. These come in 3 different sticks with different ratios for all their products. I've got the 1:1 and 3:1 on this one. So we'll just throw that in there. They do always fall over. So what I sometimes do is I just pour a little bit in, and then I then put the stick in, and then it usually stays there pretty good. So 3:1, always double check that stick is around the right way. And we'll probably go to the 3 on that one. Always remember, hardener goes in second. Blow off any dust, and you want to take that to the next 3. You want to try and always use the DNA sticks when like mixing any of their products. And then we'll take that up. So there's 3 different lines there, 10, 20, and 30%. We'll just take that off. We'll take that between the top 2 lines, which will be about 25%. Beauty. We'll give that a stir up. We'll throw it in the gun, and we'll start epoxying this quarter panel. So I just thought I'd make mention before we get into the epoxying. The reason why I'm not doing it in the booth is obviously because the tub is still in here. It's getting picked up and fitted this afternoon, which will be good. Be good to have my booth back. But yeah, also didn't paint the inside because it's got a tub liner which will cover all this, and I've basically painted everything that is visible when the tub liner's in. So yeah, that's why I've done it the way I have. Anyway, let's get back to the video. Hey guys, going? Hope everyone's doing well. Thanks for all putting time aside to watch my new video. I had a blast making this one and had lots of fun working on the XB Coupe. The insides will be getting painted next week. The tub for the Hilux is getting picked up this evening. So that will free up space in the booth so I can finally get the XB Coupe in and paint all the insides. Apart from that, just reflecting back on some of the content in this video, the boot lid had a fair bit of work done on the inside. Now that's all ready for priming out, and I can't wait to start getting the ball rolling on the XB Coupe. We fixed up the quarter panel. There was a few holes in the welds and a few like dents that I had pulled out to make doing the filler work a lot easier and a little bit quicker. But yeah, hope you've all enjoyed this video. One little piece of information I'd like to share with you all is that in the near future, I'm going to be dedicating 1 day per week to make a custom painting video. So that might include pinstriping, candies, flake, color shift pearls, candy base coats, you name it. It could all be combined into one project, or I might pick and choose something for 1 week but do something else the next week. Anyway, that's something to stay tuned for. But yeah, appreciate you all watching this video, and I'll see you guys on the next one. Cheers.